Yep.
Mhm.
May I proceed?
Sure.
Okay. Good morning. I call to order the April 15th, 2026 San Mateo County License Board agenda meeting at 9 a.m. We're meeting in 455 County Center, room 201, Redwood City, as well as via Zoom. Please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Yeah, we're lacking a flag again. It's got moved to another room. Can you pull up something on the screen, maybe? Just Google American flag. For me. Okay. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll proceed to roll call.
Okay. Right, that's right. Yeah, roll call. Sophie Mintier,
Here.
Raymond Wong,
Present.
Rick Chappelle.
Here.
We will now move on to item 2, oral communications. Madam Clerk, please explain how the public can participate in today's meeting.
Thank you, Madam Chair. For those attending in person, speaker slips are located by the entry. For those attending the meeting on Zoom, we will use the raise hand feature or *9 if you are calling by phone. When you hear your name called, I will prompt you to unmute your microphone and inform you that you may begin speaking. You will have 5 minutes. Members of the public who are in person and have turned in speaker slip will be heard first, followed by members joining remotely. Written comments submitted in advance will be acknowledged by staff during discussion of the appropriate agenda item. Thank you.
Thank you. We will now close public comment for items not on the agenda and move on to item 3. Madam Clerk, please introduce the item.
Okay. Regular agenda. Planner Dylan Parker. Appeal, this is for JF Foot Bath Certificate Revocation. Appellant Shu Fang Yang, owner, and location 10 Hillcrest Avenue, Millbrae, California.
Rather than have a presentation by a planner as we would ordinarily do, I wanted to say a few words to orient this morning's proceeding. As the members of the board might know, and as the parties to the matter know, we're here sitting as the appellate body for the city of Millbrae. We are in our capacity as the San Mateo County Business License Board, but we're implementing an ordinance not adopted by the county, instead an ordinance adopted by the city of Millbrae, which provides that when a business registration certificate of a certain type is revoked by the city, there's a right of appeal to this body. So as a result, we are operating under Millbrae's rules, which are not elaborate in terms of procedure. So we're going to do our best to navigate how to present the evidence, in what order, et cetera. But many of the things that you may be familiar with, for example, the fact that when the license board sits as the license board for the county, its decisions are appealable to the Board of Supervisors. That is not the case here. And there are several other aspects of our county ordinance that won't be applicable to today's proceeding. So we are, to a degree, just going to have to take it as we go, figure out what procedures make sense under the circumstances. So as a preliminary matter, I would like to start by saying that ordinarily we have the applicant for a business license present their case first. And if there is any opposition, an opportunity to speak at that time. I don't know that that makes sense in this instance. So perhaps the parties could briefly discuss whether they think it makes sense for the applicant to present their case in chief first, as we would ordinarily do, or if it makes sense for the city to proceed first. I'm neutral and can advise the board that either approach is perfectly sensible under the circumstances.
Good morning, Kyle Daly with the city of Millbrae, with Richards, Watson, and Gershon. I had planned on having the appellant go first, but if there's some reason that the appellant should not go first, I'm happy to present my case.
Good morning, I'm Paul Horcher. I'm the attorney for the appellants. I'll go either way, but I thought that frankly that I understand you're trying to graft on the Millbrae procedure on the county procedure. I know that's a rough fit. I think under the circumstances, it's probably better for city of Millbrae to go first, but there are some preliminary questions, Mr. Fox. I mean, I had an open question and I thought this matter should be continued, frankly, because there is a pending misdemeanor citation that has not closed yet. And there's also a pending administrative citation with the city of Millbrae that has not been handled yet by the city manager. I've heard nothing about it. The appeal was filed simultaneously with the appeal with the license board. And it's funny, they're both based on the same 3-page letter by the city of Millbrae city attorney, Miss Lori Liu, works for the same law firm as this gentleman. And to me, it seems like logically you should handle the case which has the higher burden of proof, that being the criminal case. That should be resolved first, either one way or another, either by action lapse of time, or usually misdemeanor, as you know, is lapses after a year. It is true that the DA reviewed this case on March 18th and found it lacking, and then it chose not to prosecute. However, they haven't dismissed the citation yet. It's still out there. So it makes more sense logically to dispose of that first. And also makes more sense to dispose of the administrative. That's also a different burden of proof. I wonder if you'd consider that.
Thank you. As you may know, it is not my role in this matter to decide this, but instead to advise the board about what I see as the applicable law. So it is for the business license board to interpret the best path forward. My own interpretation of the Millbrae ordinance is that only the parties have the power to continue the matter beyond the date set for hearing. The ordinance, by its terms, provides that the hearing must be held within 30 days. We scheduled it within 30 days because the ordinance says so. And there's no provision in the ordinance that I see for a continuance for any reason other than the parties determining that there is good cause for a continuance. So unless the parties agree to a continuance, I don't see that there's authority for continuing.
This is good cause. That they do have a pending misdemeanor matter that's not been disposed of.
Right, but what I'm saying is what the ordinance says.
And I believe that this board has the power to, upon a display of good cause, to postpone or continue this hearing.
Okay. Under the Millbrae ordinance, there is the opportunity to, in writing, which I agree you did do prior to the hearing, request that the matter be continued for good cause. Do you want to be heard on the matter?
Yes, so anytime that there's a criminal investigation and potential criminal charges, there's going to be a statute of limitations that applies. And for instance, if this was a potential felony, then there would be that statute of limitations would be years long. And so under Ms. Yang's interpretation of the law, that would mean that the city would have to allow Ms. Yang to continue to operate her business and not revoke the license for as long as that statute of limitations was open. This is a misdemeanor. The city is not inclined to wait a year to conduct these proceedings or more, and we are ready to move forward today. We did, for the record, I thought that some email exchanges were had about this, definitely between Mr. Porcher and I, but I thought that maybe Mr. Fox was on those emails as well. We've looked into the law on this. We do not believe that there's anything illegal about moving forward. The statutes that we reviewed involve criminal cases that should not be put on the back burner for civil cases, but that's not the issue here.
If this was a case where this woman was a threat to public health or safety, then he would have a point. But she's obviously not a threat to public health or safety. This should be continued.
Okay,
And further, like I said before, there's also a pending appeal with the city manager of Millbrae, which would just, once it's heard, might dispose of some of these issues. And maybe make this whole license board meeting moot.
Well-
That has not been decided yet.
I want to clarify, this board has no jurisdiction over the administrative fine.
Stipulated.
Okay.
However, it's my duty to point that out to you. There is a pending administrative appeal with the city of Millbrae.
I understand. Okay, so the ordinance provides that the request for continuance is at the discretion of the chair of the license board, that is Ms. Mintier. So if you'd like, we can discuss it further, or if you're prepared to make a decision about whether or not you believe there is good cause for a continuance, it is within your discretion, not a vote of the board.
I'd like to discuss that further.
Okay. Can we take a brief recess so that I can confer with Ms. Mintier? We okay with that?
You want us to leave or you?
No, that would be very inconvenient to everybody. Ms.
Just
Mintier
ask
and I
me
can-
one-
Sure.
Mr. Robin, sorry, can I introduce myself? I'm
Oh.
the city attorney of Millbrae.
Oh, hi.
Hi,
Nice to meet you.
Lou. I just wanted to state with respect to the administrative fine, proceedings before the city, there's no time frame that is required according to the Millbrae Code. And Mr. Fox said it is completely separate from this proceeding. What happens here has no effect on that and vice versa. Thank you.
You been named by the law? You understand? Don't on the silent. Session. You know, you know. You don't. No, that's right, it's cheaper. Good, you say. I'm sorry.
So after conferring with Mr. Fox, I do not find good cause for a continuance. Therefore, we will continue with hearing evidence from both parties.
Are there other preliminary matters to discuss?
City has none.
Just for everyone's convenience, I did prepare printouts of all of the exhibits that were emailed to me prior to the hearing. I provided a copy to each member of the board. For your own reference, if you want to refer to your submittals, the appeal itself submitted by counsel for the business is tab 1. You don't need to remember this necessarily. I just want you to be aware so that if you do want to use it.
Hey, 5 copies.
Yeah, okay. Well, we may rely upon them. So the appeal itself is tab 1. The list of exhibits to appellant's brief is tab 2. The appellee's exhibits are tab 3. The appellant's supplemental exhibits is tab 4, and the appellee's supplemental exhibits are tab 5. So if it's convenient to you to refer to those documents, they are in front of each member of the board. So in light of Mr. Horcher's statement about his expectations about how to proceed, I think it might be best if the city goes first to present its case in chief, and then we turn to the business for its case in chief.
That's fine. Chair right here.
Yeah, whatever's convenient, that's fine.
Good morning, members of the board. As you know, this is not a criminal case, and there may be some discussion about criminal issues, but we do not have to prove anything to you beyond a reasonable doubt like the DA's office would. But we're going to demonstrate that there are 3 grounds for revoking Ms. Yang and JF Footbath's license. 2 of them are rather technical. The first 2 are just that she didn't have towels in an enclosed cabinet. The cabinet was open. And the second one was that she wasn't wearing her photo identification, which is related to the third and then the most important one, why we're really here today, is because during an undercover investigation, Miss Yang, who is the owner of JF Footbath and the only masseuse that works at JF Footbath, according to her own declaration.
Excuse me, point of order. I did ask for the witnesses to be sequestered.
Oh, we did discuss that. So if the detectives could step out, thank you.
Are there witnesses for the business other than?
No, just the party.
Okay.
The party herself.
Understood.
During an undercover operation at JF Footbath, Miss Yang did solicit an undercover officer for prostitution services, and she also touched the officer's genitals. She did so intentionally. There was a discussion of an extra $100 that the undercover would pay. And you're not allowed to do that under either the penal code or the Millbrae Municipal Code. Under the Millbrae Municipal Code, just touching a customer's privates is unlawful. And so based on those grounds, we're asking that her appeal be denied.
Okay, do you intend to proceed witnesses or is it proceed with witnesses?
Yeah. Excuse me. You have to interpret. You have to.
So 今天这个还是关于
Yes, so
Can you pause for a moment?
Yeah.
好的
sure.
一个是关于你的相片没有在那个身上显示，另外一个是你的毛巾的存放地，然后另外一个是关于你们今天的appeal，今天的抗议的话是关于跟用户警察有进行不适的规模，然后我警察控告卖淫罪、卖淫和向两会。
Mr. Horcher, did you have any opening statement or you want me to just proceed with witnesses?
You can reserve it for later. There's no obligation on your part.
Okay, then I'm gonna go
Oh,
ahead
you
and
thought
call.
that was an opening statement?
Yeah,
I can respond very quickly. You say rather technical, you said there's three prongs. You said, well, rather technical, very technical. We will prove in this hearing, let's talk about the towels issue. Towels were in a cabinet. It was closed at the cabinet was closed at the end of the workday and opened at the beginning of the workday. Not a violation. Let's talk about the, we will prove today about the CMTC badge. She's the only masseuse there. It's a non-issue. And her certificate was at eye level on the wall of the building, of the other lobby, excuse me. That's not an issue. We will discuss the so-called $100 canard. Which we agree with the DA has no significance. The DA did not see a case here. We don't either. We will also discuss other lapses as well. As the case goes on. Thank you.
and the city would call Detective Larson, Miranda Larson. Oops, should I go grab her? Or Detective Larson.
Hold
Sure.
up, I do have a procedural question. Often we proceed without swearing witnesses. Do the parties feel that's necessary under the circumstances?
I think all witnesses should be sworn in.
Okay. Would you please stand and raise your right hand and repeat after?
And thank you, Mr. Fox, for bringing that up.
Do you solemnly state that the evidence that you shall give in this matter shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Mr. Fox, may I join the table?
Yes.
Now, just a point of order before we continue, I just wanted to make a disclosure statement. Mr. Horcher, while you were an administrator in City of County of San Francisco, I worked in your department. So I just wanted that to be on the record that I was an employee of yours 25 years ago.
Long time ago.
Yes.
Been a lot of changes since then.
Correct.
But San Mateo's lucky to have you.
Detective Larson, could you introduce yourself to the board, please?
I'm Detective Larson. I am a detective with the San Mateo County Sheriff's Office. I've been a sworn peace officer in the state of California for 8 years.
And did you have the occasion to be involved in an investigation of JF Footbath that led to an undercover operation on February 11th of this year?
Yes.
What brought the sheriff's office attention to JF Footbath?
The sheriff's office in general received multiple complaints across jurisdictions that San Mateo County that we are responsible for about solicitation of prostitution at either massage parlors or spas. In doing an investigation, initially just looking at public reviews, we located multiple reviews stating that instances at JF Footbath offered solicitation for sexual favors.
You found that information online?
Yes.
I see in the report that's already been submitted to the board, two different reviews. Is that your recollection? There was
There's
two?
actually three.
There was three. Okay, so can we discuss those? And you don't have to, just briefly, since they're already in the report.
The first one was a Yelp review, publicly available. If anybody Googled Yelp and JF Footbath, it's still on the page. I believe it was from approximately 2023. Where a
Objection, I'll tell you why, if I may. Irrelevant. She did not succeed to ownership until November 13th, 2025.
If we-
Period. I have proof of that. Exhibit 9.
Okay, I think that goes to relevance rather than admissibility. You can present evidence about when she began ownership. At the moment, I believe the testimony is to explain why they conducted the operation, not that this is being offered as evidence of a violation.
I agree with you, Tim, but the distinction had to be made there.
Understood.
I didn't want them try to bamboozle the license board.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Detective Larson, you said that was a Yelp review?
yes,
So that would have been available to Mrs. Yang to see when she was buying the business, right?
yes.
Okay, let's talk about the other two.
The other two were from sites that offer subscriptions where customers can review specific massage establishments and relay if these establishments offer solicitation for sexual activities.
And so that one, do you remember when that was posted?
It was in 2025. I'd have to look at my report for the exact month.
Okay, well, if your report indicates that it was in November, do you have any reason to dispute that?
No,
And if the date of it said the massage took place on November 16th of 2025, do you have any reason to dispute that?
no.
Okay, and we just heard that Ms. Yang acquired the business in November of 2025, right?
Yes.
Okay, so let's talk about that review.
So that review is a male customer who specifically talks about a masseuse who during his massaged him and gave him a happy ending when he flipped over. A happy ending is a common term used in select sexual activities where a male is massaged or his penis is massaged until he orgasms or ejaculates.
Was there a description of the masseuse that provided that service?
Yes.
Okay, tell us about that description.
I'd have to refer to my report for the exact description, but I believe it was an Asian female.
Okay, and if the screenshot says Korean, does that sound familiar?
Yes.
Okay. Before we get into the undercover operation, did you happen to note how old Miss Yang is in your report?
Yeah, so the descriptions that we received,
Excuse me. Do you have to translate?
现在说的关于
Pardon me, sir.
We can wait.
网站跟客户，他们有写的review 关于一个店在2023年已经有提供卖淫服务，但是一个律师讲，然后他们说甚至在有客户买的这种
I'll just move this along. If your report indicates that she's 55 years old, does that sound right?
yes,
Okay, so tell us a little bit about how the operation.
Project shamelessly leading the witness. She knows she knows. She doesn't know she doesn't know. I know this is not the strict rules of evidence, but that's shamelessly leading the witness. Let her answer the question if she knows it.
Okay, the objection is noted, no rules.
Can you tell us about how the undercover operation was conducted?
so based on these independent investigation reviews that were found based on the complaints from citizens that the city of Millbrae received. We then had a Detective Gonzalez pose as an undercover person. He called the establishment based on the phone number that was listed in the business information that we found online. He requested to make an appointment based on the complaints. A person named Coco was the name that we were given, who was an Asian female, approximately 50 years old.
Was the name Coco from that review? that we just discussed?
Was from a review, but it was also referred to in the complaint, as far as I understood, that we reported from the captain at the time.
Okay, all right, so what happened next as far as the operation is concerned?
As far as operation is concerned, we had our analysts do a workup on, which is investigation for information on the business based on like who owns the business, how many employees, what information we have on the business. They did an independent workup. From there, Detective Gonzalez contacted the business, made an appointment for February 11th at approximately 1:30 in the afternoon. We refer to it by military hours as 13:30 in our reports. From there, Detective Gonzalez was given a bug device, which is a one-way transmitter, so that during the massage, the interaction with the masseuse could be recorded. And then Detective Gonzalez went in, there was a team standing by, and our code word, we had a code word that he was to indicate if those services were being offered. There was a solicitation where $100 was referenced, and then Detective Gonzalez gave the code word, which indicated that the services were being performed. And then we went in, contacted all parties, and finished up the investigation.
And we'll get to it further with Detective Gonzalez, but can you just tell us briefly what Detective Gonzalez reported as far as what happened in the massage room?
So the massage was a standard massage. While he began laying face down. The masseuse focused on his rear end and his buttocks and thigh area while he was on his back. When he flipped over, the masseuse referenced $100 and then said she was going to go out, grab some towels, wipe him down. He flipped over. Then when he flipped over, she began to massage his penis, at which point he gave the code word, and then the rest of the team entered the business to finish up the investigation.
Did you have the occasion to view Miss Yang on that day?
Yes,
And was she wearing her photo ID badge when you saw her?
no, I believe we located the photo ID badge on the desk.
Let's talk about money. Was any money provided to Detective Gonzalez to pay for the massage or any other services?
Yes, Sergeant Burnett provided Detective Gonzalez $170 in what we refer to as buy money. Those dollar bills were photographed prior, and the serial numbers for those bills were recorded prior to the operation.
And was any of that money recovered at the end of the operation?
Yes, $70 was the fee for the massage, which Detective Gonzalez paid for upfront, but prior to the massage being conducted. From there, after we all entered and separated all parties, the money was recovered from Miss Yang's left pants pocket.
Besides the ID badge, were there any other sort of technical violations that were observed?
I was not part of the investigation as far as the working with the city code enforcers. That was Detective Lindsay. He went with the questionnaire provided by the city for their code enforcement. And he walked through, to my understanding from reading the report, there was a violation of referred to about the towels and how they were stored.
Thank you, Detective Larson. I don't have any more questions for right now.
Mayor Cross,
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry, you're not asking me.
first, detective or sergeant, what'd you prefer?
I'm a detective, I'm not a sergeant.
Detective.
Mhm.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, sir.
Let's talk about health review.
Mhm.
Isn't it true? It was in 2023, not 2025.
It was true that it was in 2023 and not 2025. However, it substantiates the claims and that citizens said. That is why we conducted a further investigation to show whether or not it was actually true. This investigation was not specific to. It was just to determine whether or not these claims were true.
But do you have any evidence that that she worked there before in 2023?
So that wasn't the only review that we had. I don't know about her prior employment. We weren't able to find information related to that.
A matter of public record, the city of Millbrae, just for your information. Now, you talked about these subscriptions.
Mhm.
These are all male fantasy websites, correct?
I'm not specifically familiar with those types of websites. I don't know if they're fantasy or not.
All anonymous.
They all have usernames. I don't know
Yes,
that,
answer the question. Are they anonymous? Yes or no?
I don't know.
Not a good answer. The board deserves a straight answer.
Objection, she answered the question.
No, she didn't really.
You just didn't like the answer. Let's not do this for the whole hearing, please.
I'm not a potted plant. I'm here to make sure she gets a fair hearing.
As an
far,
objection
not-
as
so
an
far.
answer.
Now. You said they were all male customers. If they're anonymous, how do you know that?
They stated that they were male in the reviews.
So they said they were. So we absolutely have, they have total credibility. People who I cannot cross-examine, who are anonymous out in the wind. You believe they're all males, customers? You believe they're not competitors, trying to cut their other competitors' throat anonymously?
We have to go based on the claims and the evidence that we located. From what we saw, they claimed that they were male. And from there, that's why we conducted the investigation to show whether these claims were true or false.
I think you stated she was Korean. Is she Korean?
I did not state that she was Korean, one of the reviews did.
But you believe that review? Right?
From all of the information.
You said
we
you believe
were-
all reviews, whether they're true or not.
I didn't say I believed all of them.
Oh, you have that impression. Well, she's not Korean, is she?
No,
Well, that's another mistake. All right. You said her name was Coco. Is that true?
the name that was given in the review and the complaints was stated as Coco. The name that Detective Gonzalez requested for the masseuse was Coco, and then we were contacted Miss Yen.
What was the so-called code word?
Shower.
Now, isn't it true that Detective Gonzalez was in room number 2? And in room number 1, there was an adjoining customer. I think City Mail Break refers to call them clients. There was a client in room number 1. Is that not true? You were there.
That was true, who was a walk-in after Detective Gonzalez went in.
Yes. Now, she was interviewed, was she not? It's in your police report. And does the police report state that the only thing she heard was the word shower?
That is the only thing that she heard. That doesn't necessarily mean that other things weren't said.
She was interviewed by you guys.
By Detective West.
Yes, thoroughly interviewed. He gave sort of a summation. But the only thing recorded that she'd be saying, actually saying, was shower. Or words of that effect. Just confirming what's in the police report. Now, your attorney definitely asked a good question about the money, but you didn't quite answer the whole question. He asked about was the money returned? You talked about $170. You talked about $70 being returned, but isn't it true that you got the other $100 back from the Detective Gonzalez?
Yes,
Okay, which proves that she never got it. The late Miss Yang never got the $100. Isn't that correct?
that is correct.
Thank you. Enough for now. Thank you.
Just a couple follow-ups. Detective Larson, have you ever been involved in an investigation like this where you all went in, you did something similar, an undercover operation like this, and you just found nothing?
Yes,
Did that upset you?
no,
Would you have been personally upset if you found nothing at JF Footbath?
no,
No more questions. Thank you, Detective Larson.
That opens another door for me.
All right, go for it.
Why were there so many deputies there? 8 for a
That-
one-person massage place.
that's a standard operation procedure. We have,
I'm familiar with this in San Francisco. You have 6 to 10 people come in, all on overtime. I don't know if you're on overtime or not, but that's the same. I've seen that in San Francisco multiple times.
we're not San Francisco, sir, we're San Mateo County.
Were you on overtime then?
No,
That's a good answer. Glad to hear that.
None of the detectives on duty that day who were part of the operation were on overtime. This was all conducted on regular time. And we specifically worked it so that we were not conducting this on overtime.
Why so many?
It's standard
Whose
procedure.
idea was that? Who was in charge of this operation in the sheriff's office? Who organized this investigation?
Which
Who said, I want 8 people there tomorrow at 1:30 to conduct this investigation, or you want to call it?
you've asked me multiple questions. Which one would you like?
I haven't
me
got an
to
answer yet. I know you're not, that's just cute, but yeah, just answer one question. Who put it together?
I'm the one who wrote the operation
So this
procedure.
was your idea. Have eight officers there,
That's normal for an operation.
each drawing up at least $86 per hour time. Is that not correct? Am I pretty close?
Objection relevance.
Overruled. You can answer the question.
I don't know what everybody's specific pay is. I'm not
Okay.
part of that. It was approved. It went up the chain of command from the sergeants to the lieutenant who was in charge of the unit at the time.
I noticed you prepared this the day after the incident. Why did you wait a day?
Prepared what?
This report?
I had started it the day of, but I didn't finish it. And to not incur extra overtime, I finished it the following day.
Why did it take Jeffrey Carr another 4 days to get around to it? I haven't seen as many of these as you have, but many. And it's usually bam, bam, same day.
There were
And this is,
other,
by the way, the POST also says, as soon as possible, get these reports done, because memories fade. People forget things. Lawyers and sheriffs, everybody forgets things.
so yes, I finished it up the next morning. I submitted my report. It was sent to my supervisor for approval.
Is your
Then-
supervisor Jeffrey Carr?
He's one of my supervisors, yes.
And is he still on the SWAT team?
No.
Is there any reason why he's not on the SWAT team anymore?
I don't know why he's not on the SWAT team anymore. It's not something I've discussed with him.
Wouldn't venture a guess.
Objection calls for speculation.
Yeah, this is beyond the scope of the recross.
Yeah, Stip, you're right. I'll save it for later.
Okay.
You're right. Let's move on.
Thank you, Section Larson. I don't have any further questions. I think you can head out. Thank you. City's gonna call Detective Gonzalez.
Hello. Hi. Before you sit down, we are swearing the witnesses. So could you please raise your right hand and respond to the following question? Do you solemnly state that the evidence that you shall give in this issue, in this matter, shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God.
I do.
Good morning, Detective Gonzalez.
Good morning.
You're aware that I submitted your police report and a declaration to the board already, right?
Yes,
Okay, and you had a chance to look at that declaration, right?
I did.
Was it accurate and correct?
Yes.
And in that declaration, you talk about your professional experience and training, but if you could talk about it just a little bit. What experience do you have that's related to undercover operations like this?
Started the police academy in 2003, became a police officer shortly after police academy. I did deployed as a police officer for the city of Mountain View for approximately 20 years before retiring with them. During that time, I did 2 rotations as a detective with the city of Mountain View. The first one was as a undercover narcotics detective. Part of that required me to go to the Department of Justice undercover school, which I did and I completed. I also participated in a informant management program through the Department of Justice and completed that also, which allowed me to be an undercover officer within the state of California.
to handle informants. During my job as an undercover detective at the time, I was the person that was sent in to buy drugs, buy guns, infiltrate organizations, and also infiltrate massage parlors, prostitution stings. Went back to patrol. I did a second rotation as a detective. This time I was assigned to the FBI as an undercover agent. It's a federal task force. Part of that was also helping with the internet crimes against children. And part of that also required for me to be undercover. I went to the district attorney's office for a cold case homicide task force. Where I was also plainclothes in that capacity. And then I did a stint as the child molest detective, the city of Mountain View. That was also a plainclothes assignment. And that assignment also allowed me to help sexual assault victims that were adults and human trafficking that was adults. During that time, majority of the escorts, prostitutes, human trafficking victims, I dealt with them, interviewed them. I retired from the city of Mountain View as a peace officer in 2023. And then I came over to the sheriff's office as a call it a double dipper. So I came over to the sheriff's office in December of 2023. And I completed a field training officer program here, jail training officer program, the court training program. And then I became a detective here. I'm currently a detective, San Mateo County Sheriff's Office. As a detective, I'm assigned to sexual assaults, children and adults.
With JF Footbath, what was your specific role?
So for JF Footbath, that was a Millbrae case. Detective Larson's the Millbrae detective. It's her case. They were looking for somebody to be the undercover officer for the operation. And I think because I was the newest to the team, the detective team, I was tasked with, my number was up, so I was going to be the person to go in.
What did you know about JF Footbath before you got there?
Detective Larson shared with me some online stuff that she discovered or she had about other previous reviews about the location. I then did my own recon where I had to go in there and actually went inside before. And I wore basically what I'm wearing is okay to stand up, but I'm wearing now, except for this top shirt. I wore my black undershirt, I wore these pants, and I wore the boots that I'm wearing to walk in to just see what the inside looked like, to see where the camera systems were and how the entry would be and all that. And then you asked before I went there.
Yeah.
And then I also coordinated a call with the place to make an appointment.
Okay. When you made the appointment, what exactly did you ask for and who, if anybody, did you ask for?
So I made the call. This would have been on a Monday, February 9th. The call was made on speakerphone with Detective Larson as she was the case agent. So I made it with her. I asked for a massage and I asked for Coco. Coco was a name that had been used in reviews.
Why would you use that name? Because it was in a review.
Hoping to get that same person.
So when you got to JF Footbath, what happened? And I mean for the day of the undercover operation.
So we met at a location, we call it a staging location in preparation. And it's just to make sure, because undercover operations are inherently dangerous, particularly for the person going in. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what could happen. You have to take into account that there's human trafficking can be involved. And one of the most dangerous things besides domestic violence calls are human trafficking entering into locations. And it's something that I train on through the courses that I've taken. But I was provided with marked money, serialized number money. and with a listening device,
Yeah. How much money were you given?
$170.
Why that amount?
The massage was going to be $70. It was what was posted on their wall and what I was told on the phone, or excuse me, I don't remember if I was told on the phone, but it was what was posted, and my it's gonna be $70 and then $100 for if I was solicited for a sexual act. That's the usual normal tip.
So when you got to JF Foot Bath, who did you speak to first?
Um,
Inside the establishment, who did you speak to first?
a lady, Miss Yang.
And how did it proceed from there?
They said it was gonna be $70. I opened my wallet up in front of them so that they both see the currency that was in there. I took out $70 and the $100 were still in my wallet. Gave it to them and I was walked to room number 2.
And when you say you showed it to both people, so you showed it to Miss Yang and somebody else?
Yes, it was another Miss Yang, the similar first name but slightly different.
Okay, all right. So what happens when you get inside the massage room?
I was told to lay down for the massage. And then I laid down and then this chief fan came in and she asked if I wanted a sheet. It was cold, so she put a sheet on me.
Okay, and how did the massage proceed?
And then she began to massage the backside. I was face down, so she massaged my backside for about 30 minutes or so. The majority of that massage was located on my butt.
Did you ask for that?
No,
Did you find that odd, or why was that important to know?
I found it consistent with a massage parlor that would eventually make a solicitation prostitution. You know, massaging my butt, in my butt crack, and then going down the side of my legs where my balls are, my genitals are. And during the course of the massage, the listening device, sometimes they're not that sensitive. I had it as close to me as I could, and I would say things to let them know that everything's still okay. And there's a protocol that if they don't hear my voice after a certain amount of time, they either make a call into me or they just do the UC rescue to come rescue me. So I would periodically say things during the massage to let them know that it was going okay.
Was there any additional amount of money discussed during the massage?
She made mention to money at one point.
What did she say?
It was the time for the flip over, and she mentioned $100 as she was getting ready to go out, and that she was going to get clean towels to wipe off the oil from my back.
Okay. And the additional $100 that you had after having already paid her $70, did you show her that bill, or do you have any reason to believe that she saw that?
Like after?
No, I mean, so you initially paid her $70, correct?
Yes,
Okay. And then you said that she mentioned $100.
yes,
Did she say anything else other than $100 with regards to that money?
no,
But had you shown her that you had an additional $100 after you had already paid her the 70?
yes.
Now, what happened after you flipped over?
After I flipped over, we proceeded with the massage on the front side. It's about 5 to 10 minutes or so on my front side. And then after about 5 or 10 minutes, she immediately grabbed my penis and began to masturbate me.
Okay, and did she do or say anything after she did that?
No, she didn't. She was just smiling and giggling. And then I wanted to see if she would make a verbal solicitation so that the wire device can pick it up. And in order to stall her, I asked if she could lift up her shirt, show me her breasts. She did. She showed me her breasts, and then she started giggling. And did that just for a brief moment, and then she put her shirt back down, and then she grabbed my penis again and just started masturbating me again. And at that point, I figured that she was gonna make a solicitation it would have happened already. Or it's gonna happen at the end, and I didn't want to go any further, and I felt it was just best to just end it there.
Was Miss Yang wearing any photo identification on her person during the massage?
No,
And so how did you end the massage?
I gave a pre-planned code word over the phone. Over our wire device so that the team would know to come in.
And we've already talked to Detective Larson about the business investigation that happened after that, but was Miss Yang arrested or cited for anything?
I was told that she was cited.
For what violation, do you know?
At this point, I don't remember.
Okay, I have no further questions. Thanks.
Morning.
Sir.
So you said you were the newest on the totem pole?
Yes,
So you got the short straw that morning?
yes.
It said, you were asked, what did you know? But did you really know anything about this person or about the ownership of the place or? Other than what was told you based on some internet websites, so forth?
Just about that, sir.
Do you think you were told everything you should have been now told? Or sometimes you feel resentful?
Resentful?
Mhm.
No,
You're being put in this position.
no.
You said you surveyed the place the first time. You
Yes.
wore the same clothes as today?
Yes,
Did you have a Sam Brown on too, or did you have that shirt, that T-shirt on?
the Sam Brown. You
Belt.
know, the belt?
Yes, sir.
No.
And I guess I'm old school, you know what I mean? Duty belt. And that shirt, were you wearing that shirt today?
So what I was wearing was,
And were you wearing a badge too?
I was,
Was the
Yeah,
badge,
just like this.
the badge was covered by your shirt? Okay.
it was,
You can turn around for the, just.
yes. No,
All right, thank you, sir.
same boots on, same pants on. Yes, sir.
You said there was a staging location. Where was that?
It was,
Don't tell me it was a donut shop or something.
no, I wish it would have been. It was a parking lot.
Sir?
It was a parking lot.
Okay. You mentioned this is a potentially dangerous place. This,
I did not say that. I said,
I remember that word dangerous.
that's true, but what I said was, these operations can be dangerous.
You think this is a dangerous place? Retrospect?
In retrospect, no.
You think it required 8 deputy sheriffs to be there?
Yes.
Why?
Well, first of all, there's me. You need,
Obviously, no argument.
yeah, you need at least 2 for the hostage rescue, which would be me. That is a protocol. So that's 3, so we're down to 5. Supervisor. Case agent. A searcher, a finder,
Yeah,
and then another person that would be outside doing overwatch and surveillance.
how do other jurisdictions do it with just 2 or 3 people? Just
Objection, relevance.
Well, I've worked in several
Sorry, can I get a?
overrules.
Go ahead.
You can. Oh,
I mean, I've seen them all. I've been all over the Bay Area. I've seen these things go on.
so I was
You're
gonna,
not the worst, by the way. There's worse.
I'm surprised to hear that they would do this with people, based on my experience and training, and being an undercover agent for a variety of jurisdictions, federal, state, county, being loaned out to numerous agencies. Not once have I ever been sent in, or do I know of any of my coworkers being sent in as undercover officers with just 2 or that low of a number of group of people.
Now, to be fair, what I'm talking about are licensed massage establishments, 2 or 3 people. You're going into a undercover house of prostitution. locked doors, I get that. You do need to back up and all that.
Yes,
We don't agree on this, but we maybe agree on that point, but. This little place, one person, one masseuse, it's offensive, actually, to tell you the truth, but let's move on. You said you were trained in human trafficking?
that's correct.
Well, isn't it in part of the post manual, and was she a suspect to you? Because you were told all these things about her, was she a suspect?
No,
Well. Isn't it true, that begs another question, why was there no wire? Why was there no recording? You've been to enough of these situations where it's usually comes down to he said, she said.
yes.
Why not break the tie and have a wire recording?
My understanding was that it was recorded.
Where is it? It was never provided to, never got it, I never seen it. Never heard of it. I know 53 photographs are entered into evidence, but I never saw a wire recording entered into evidence. And you have, evidence.com, or
Yes, sir.
there's no evidence of a wire recording ever being put in there. Now you say there was one. And that in itself would be a grounds for continuance. If there is a wire recording, this could be all settled very quickly. You're sure there's a wire recording?
Not 100% sure, but I'm sure it was recorded.
Because we only have one other neutral, we have only one neutral witness, and that's that other person, that client who was in the adjoining room.
Yes,
I make that motion, Mr. Fox, continue this matter until we get a copy of that wire recording. It's crucial. You could hurt me, you could help me.
So
We'll decide the matter.
if I could respond, so the police reports in this matter were turned over a while ago, so Mr. Porter's have those. I think it does indicate that there was a recording.
Does not,
Okay, well, we'll be able to see in the reports because we all have the reports.
does not.
But he could have asked for a continuance before right now.
I didn't know there was a wire recording till just
You
now.
have the police reports mentioning the recording, but
That's not true. You must tell the truth to this panel.
we disagree about what's in the report, and that's fine.
No, there's telling the truth. and
Counsel,
not telling the
counsel,
truth.
counsel, address your argument to me, not to him.
Fair enough.
Okay,
The other,
we will remain calm as we discuss these matters. Okay, you've requested a continuance. I believe counsel for the city is responding to that argument. That will happen, and then you can respond to his argument. Thank you.
the other point I'd like to make is that an audio recording is not going to show whether or not Ms. Yang massaged the officer's penis as alleged. There were a limited amount of statements. At best, what it would do is corroborate the statement about $100, but that's part of the issue here today. But it's not going to be dispositive of anything because that recording is not going to show what happened in that massage room.
My turn.
Yes.
Police report. Shouldn't say police report, the sheriff's report. States that you made certain statements in your should be on the record, which we dispute. You made certain statements during the massage. That would be on the wire. And remember this, the woman, the client in the next room only heard one thing, the bus word, what do you call it, the code word,
yes.
showers or something like that. Because as you know, there's no showers in that place. He said showers. So she heard that. I didn't interview that client. You guys did. And the only thing she said she heard was shower. And yet you stated in your declaration.
Okay, hang on a second. It's important that we actually address the matter at hand.
Okay.
And you are combining an argument about a request for continuance with continued questioning directed at the witness. That muddies the record. I don't believe it's the right way to go. So, as I understand it, you are requesting a continuance on the basis that you have learned that there is possibly additional evidence that could have been adduced prior to the beginning of this hearing, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
It was not produced. It is crucial.
Okay, so the mill rate ordinance that we are applying provides that there is no right of discovery that precedes this hearing. If there is a right to cross-examine and confront witnesses provided in the ordinance, that obviously we're complying with now. I understand you've made a request for a continuance. That request was denied on its first round. You're making an additional request. It will be my advice to the chair that we continue with the hearing. Ultimately, the question of whether or not there is another piece of evidence that might have been presented in this hearing is not a basis for a continuance.
That's your opinion. I take exception.
Okay.
It's not fair.
Okay, you may proceed with the witness.
Are you ruling or is the chair ruling?
I'd like us to proceed.
Yeah. We talked briefly, I think you were questioning about the $170.
Yes, sir.
You gave $70 for the massage, correct?
Yes.
And what happened to the other 100? Did she take the 100 from you?
No, sir.
And you returned it to, her name is Miranda?
Detective Larson.
Larson.
Right, Larson.
Okay. Now, you've dealt with prostitutes, real prostitutes.
Yes.
Don't they usually get to the point right away? They don't go through 30, 40 minutes of massaging. Don't they get to the point right away about creating money for sex?
Yes.
Thank you. Very much. Now, you testified where you're on your face down.
Yes.
Much of the time was massaging your buttocks.
Yes.
Did you object?
No.
And you asked her to show her breast. Is that part of the manual? Ask the masseuse to show your breast.
What manual are you referring to?
San Mateo County Sheriff's Manual. For special operations like this.
So as a undercover officer, as a police officer,
Yeah.
I wanted to get a good solicitation on the wire to help with what was going on. And that was part of my tactic, was to see if I can delay her. And see if she would have, maybe in changing what she was doing, make the full solicitation so it could be heard over the wire.
I didn't hear a yes or no there. Is that official San Mateo policy?
I don't believe there's an official policy to the exact question that you're asking me.
Did your supervisor tell you to do that?
No, sir.
Did you say the words or did you just motion?
I don't remember.
Because I believe in your declaration or a report, you said you told her to do that. This is one of the reasons I want that recording. But you don't remember now. Okay.
Don't.
All right, I'm gonna go through your declaration now. Questions for you. Are you comfortable with that?
Yes, sir.
The first three paragraphs are some. It's an impressive background, to tell you. So I just wondering what the relevance was. I didn't see the word prostitution in any of those paragraphs. I mean, I could brag about my resume, but we are what we are today, isn't it? All right, never mind. Let's go move on. You said was there a search warrant involved here?
I don't remember.
Well, you seized her cell phones. That's why I was asking.
I wasn't the one that seized your cell phone, so.
Someone did in your group, 800 group. Maybe it was Miss Larson. It does. Detective Larson, someone took her cell phones. or maybe with someone else, but it's in the report. Was that pursuant to a search warrant?
I don't know, I was the undercover officer, you'd have to ask the
My point,
investigating officer.
I won't be too hard on you, but
Yes.
my point being, is she voluntarily gave the passwords up. And yet I've heard nothing about that, in anything. Any research that was done, going through her cell phone, looking for bad things she might have done or said or texted or received in text. I'm just pointing that out, nothing, so. Apparently her cell phones were clean. All right. Let's go on to the fifth, I'm still wondering. Just want to confirm, Miss Larson have authorized this operation, is that correct, as far as you know? Want to confirm that?
Authorized it,
Mhm.
would normally.
Ordered it.
think that our supervisor would authorize it.
Who's supervisor? Is that Mr. Carr? Sergeant Carr,
I think it was Sergeant Burnett.
Burnett,
Yes.
okay. Okay. You said something I really liked in paragraph 5. We are required to complete such reports as near to the events described therein as reasonably possible. We are also required to make such reports as accurate as possible. That's right out of the post manual, isn't that correct?
I don't know, I don't remember.
Long time ago. All right. You said you called on February 9th.
Monday, yes,
Do you know who you talked to?
I don't,
You get a name? It was Coco or some other name?
don't know the name of the person that answered, but it was recorded.
It was recorded?
I believe so.
I saw no mention of that in the police report. All I saw were like 153 photographs being uploaded to evidence.com, but there's no mention of a recording of your phone call or a recording of your encounter on the 11th. But do you think there's both of those things exist?
They could, both of those were not recorded by me,
Who recorded it, conversation?
I believe it was Detective Larson.
Oh, okay. Thanks for telling me that. Okay. Now, you went to the massage room. Did you take off all your clothes?
Yes,
Whose decision was that? Yours or Miss Yang's?
mine,
Thank you. You told me, I think she worked to the backside of your body for about 30 minutes. Isn't it true that you attempted to massage her buttocks while she was doing that?
no,
Isn't it true that you brushed against the inside of her thigh?
no,
Isn't it true that she pushed you away to stop you from doing that?
no,
Now, you're trained to be very observant. You're a peace officer. Did the walls in that massage place, they call demising walls between each room, did they go all the way to the ceiling or just part of the way up?
I don't remember.
Well, refresh your memory. Show you exhibit. Where is it? Exhibit. Exhibit 8. Look like the room you're in, room 2.
Yes,
You notice the walls.
yes,
They don't go up all the way to the ceiling. They're called pony walls, free force walls.
okay,
Do you know why is that?
I don't,
So to help massage owners listen to their employees, make sure there's no bad ongoings in the room next to them. It helps them monitor their employees, make sure nothing nefarious going on. Oh, pony walls. Now, next to this wall over here was the one that was interviewed, I don't remember an exact name, but she was the person,
Yes, I heard
the
her.
other customer.
Yes.
You heard her come in.
Yes,
The only thing she heard you say was
shower.
something like that, shower. Because she was, I didn't interview her, I wasn't
Yeah.
there, but police, sheriff interviewed her.
Yes,
All she heard was that.
yes.
Yeah. You talked about hearing the phrase $100.
Yes,
Now, you're an officer, you're a peace officer. She actually said that clearly in connection to a sex act. Why not stop then? You have your crime.
there have been no sex act yet. She said $100 as she was getting ready to leave.
Sure about that?
Yes,
Then why not stop the second she's touch your penis?
I wanted to see if I can get her to say something related to the actual act.
I'm not a criminal lawyer, but I believe once you have the agreement and if there really was an agreement for you to pay her $100, that would have done it. That would have been the act. This is more your line of work than mine, but I believe that's a solicitation right there. And another point. When you asked her, you allegedly asked her to raise her top up so you could see her breasts. That was if she actually did that, that was a violation also of the Millbrae Code. If that actually happened, why wasn't she cited for that?
I don't know.
It's good. It's Millbrae Code 5.60.050I. All massage business operators and employees, including practitioners, shall wear clean, non-transparent outer garments. Such said garments shall not expose their genitals, pubic areas, buttocks, or chest, and shall not be worn in such a manner to expose the genitals, pubic areas, buttocks, or chest. She was not cited for that. Any reason why? That really happened?
I'm not the investigating officer or the case agent. I was the undercover officer. I don't know why she wasn't cited for that.
Now, you mentioned in paragraph 14, after concluding Ms. Yang was not going to begin negotiating, I decided to end the massage. Called out in the bug to let the deputies know to enter the establishment. You said Miss Yang ran out of the room.
Yes,
Would it surprise you to know that Miss Yang was actually relieved to see the police come? That she considered you a very difficult client?
I think you're either misrepresenting the facts or she lied to you.
Didn't answer the question. So it would be surprised. Okay,
Yes,
all right. You read your report very carefully, right? What you signed, I believe you.
yes.
Why did you wait until the 14th to write up your report? 3 days after the incident.
Not sure it was 3 days after, or it could have been, that could have been the approved date.
No, that's the day you signed it, 14th.
I don't know if that's the actual, approved date or the date that I finished it and submitted it for approval.
Does the panel know what I'm talking about? The police report. Beginning, it's a supplement to undercover statement. bottom. Prepared by Detective Gonzalez. Valentine's Day. 3 days after the incident. Approved 4 days later by Burnett, Donald Burnett. Should I ask my question again? Why did you wait 72 hours to file your report?
I don't know, and I don't know if that's accurate.
It was an official police report. I didn't write this. Did Ms. Larson forget to remind you to do it or something like that?
Not that I remember, no.
You have no idea what, because as you know, post requirements are as soon as possible. So you don't forget things or make, mistakes. You don't know. You said room 2 appeared to be approximately 10 inches by 20 inches in size. That's not quite true, is it?
Would have been maybe 10 feet by 20 feet instead of inches.
Did you feel rushed when you had to make this report?
No,
I know I'm picking on you a little bit because that's
it's okay.
where most people would catch that after 3 days of reading and rereading something. Okay. You said Miss Yang was wearing a bright red long sleeve top.
Yes,
Is that true? You said the sleeves are pulled up to her elbows.
yes,
Are you sure about that?
yes.
Get back to that later. Director records, 158 digital photographs have been uploaded to evidence.com. Couldn't think of exactly, but 158 digital photographs. Nothing audio. Right there. Can't make this up, council. So did you know that Miss Yang's business had just started on the 13th of November of 2025?
No,
No one told you that.
no.
That's exhibit 9. Not kidding. Very flamboyant email there from the city of Millbrook. You can't miss it. The date's up here.
Okay,
That's all right, sir. Thank you.
Detective Gonzalez,
so
before you got to JF Footpath and did the investigation, did you or the sheriff's office know whether or not this was, a potential human trafficking situation that might be dangerous?
no,
So does it make sense that you would go prepared for the worst case scenario, and then sometimes it just doesn't end up being a very dangerous situation?
yes,
We talked about, or Mr. Horcher asked about quote unquote real prostitutes, whether they get straight to the point. I'm not sure what a real prostitute is, but as far as these massage parlor situations, is it typical for, let me rephrase my question. Was the way that Miss Yang acted inconsistent with the way that massage parlor prostitutes often act?
which did is consistent with those kinds of escorts or prostitution.
Okay, can you explain that a bit?
So there's the street workers or the workers, and I mean, work with them with prostitutes, that solicit their services online. And they have usually different security protocols and different things that they go through. Because they provide usually a different service. It's mostly a intercourse, oral sex type of service. Massage parlors, a lot different. Most of the services are masturbation, but there are other services that have been done in other operations that I've been part of. And it's been my experience that in massage parlors, they do use different techniques, such as the whisper in your ear. Because they know, well, it's believed that they know or savvy enough to avoid these techniques because they've know people or they've been caught up in other situations with law enforcement before. Whereas, let's say the escorts you get online, will have you in a one-on-one somewhere else, either in your car or in a hotel room, and they will let you know what their menu is, and different things will cost different things, different amounts.
When you're involved in an investigation, and you start to think, okay, maybe there is a crime here. Would you want to just stop when you think you have probable cause, or would you want to get the best case possible to possibly refer to the prosecutor?
So that's the balancing act. And that was something I had to make a decision with, coincidentally on this one. Normally, it's not always like that, but coincidentally, I had to make that decision on this one, where the second time she grabbed my penis and she kept masturbating me. I really want, for this to be as transparent with having them do a solicitation through the wire, but I thought it'd be ridiculous if I sit there and let myself be masturbating any longer than the few moments that I was, and just decided to end it.
But you chose not to walk out after she just said $100, right?
Oh, correct.
As far as citations go, when an officer is writing a citation, do they go through the entire municipal code and make sure that they hit every single municipal code violation in each investigation? Is that your experience?
I don't know about other officers. But for me, I try to be as thorough as I can with doing them, but it's also very common, at least particularly in my cases, where you'll do one initiating charge and then you do the follow-up with the rest of them.
Now, you just saw an email that said, correct me if I'm wrong, that Miss Yang received her license on, I believe it was November 13th of last year. Is that right?
Yes,
Okay. Are you aware that the review that was posted online listed the date of the massage as 3 days later on November 16th?
if I remember that.
I thank you, Detective Gonzalez, and any further questions.
Do you follow it? Were you aware the district attorney looked at the same facts and decided not to file a complaint?
Objection, relevance.
Oh, it's deadly relevant. You brought up this act. District attorney saw the same non-empty donut, came to this.
The objection's overruled.
It's exhibit 1, by the way. Were you aware of that?
Yes,
Thank you. We talked about the certificate. You did see it on the wall, right? Your CMTC certificate.
I don't remember.
That's exhibit 2. This badge, I want to confirm you found at the front counter. Or at the lobby.
I never saw that.
This, that was Miranda said that.
Okay.
And did you see the cabinets? This is exhibit 4.
Okay.
This photo was the 19th. I don't know what they look like then, but probably similar. This is closed. This is empty. That was closed and open. And did you look? Yeah, I know that you were directed by Ms. Larson to look at these maybe these reviews, so-called reviews. But did she direct you to look at the website?
No, I would have seen them with her.
Which is actually quite tasteful. And why I bring it up now is it does illuminate. That is $100. $100. That's for a 90-minute massage. Also, that's also listed exhibit 6, 90 minutes, $100 even. You saw that, right? It was posted front.
I don't remember. But there was a similar looking sign.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Exhibit 6. Okay. And as I recall, in the police report, the sheriff's report, to address the council's question, the point he brought up, so I think I understand his point. We're not expecting to know every bit of the Millbrae code, but somebody had a checklist and went down the checklist. And did not cite her for the exposing of breast. So just, I wanted to point that out to the panel as well. That's at the end, that's the very end of the sheriff's report. No mention of that. Now, if indeed this all happened, if indeed you reach the conclusionary statements both in by the city attorney's office and first page, I think, in the sheriff's report, oh, this is prostitution. If indeed that is true, why get these other 2 petty offenses tacked on? That is about the badge and the towels. Why do you need that? Any idea?
Are you asking me?
Yes, sir.
I don't know.
Okay, good answer. All right, sir. I had nothing. Final question. If you don't know the code, how do you expect English second language people, first generation, how do you expect them to know the code? And she will testify later, no one ever gave her a copy of the code in English or Chinese, ever. You just set her up to fail.
Well, it's a good question you asked me, since you asked it. I would think that somebody who goes through the process of being licensed through the state of California.
Millbrae.
Oh,
Oh,
the
excuse me.
impression that they have a license that they got through the state website and all that. Okay, somebody that go through the steps to license themselves with the state. Know the steps to stay within regulation. To keep a business license going, particularly if they're able and savvy enough to be a business owner, which I know is a very difficult thing.
Yeah.
It's a very it's a good thing. But I would think, based on my current experience, that somebody can go through the process to get the licensing, to get the badge, to run their business, to make their profit, their earnings, and all that. To do their taxes.
Not easy.
Should also have the responsibility to know what rules govern them and be able to adhere to those, since they were able to adhere to the other one
Well,
without in that license.
You could say that. I'm not here to testify, but I practiced among many jurisdictions. And some jurisdictions set these ladies, gentlemen from China, they set them up to succeed, not fail. And they try to help them. They give them the rules up front in English and simplified Chinese. They do what a pre-inspection of the place to make sure they're in compliance before they give that certificate out of the blue. And instead of writing them up for towels and a badge, they give them a warning.
Yeah, well, I don't know how to answer that, because I find it quite offensive that just because somebody isn't fluent in English means that they're not savvy enough to know how to do business. As a Spanish speaking first person who was raised with people who didn't speak English, I'd like to think just because, and I experienced this because I had to translate for my parents, that just because you don't speak the language of this country doesn't mean you're not smart, savvy, and able to negotiate and run a business. And I find it very offensive that you would say because somebody doesn't speak the language that they're not savvy enough or smart enough to be able to be a business person.
Your point's well taken, but so is mine.
Yes, sir.
That's enough. Thank you.
Thank you, Detective Gonzalez. That is the city's presentation as far as witnesses are concerned.
Would you like to call witnesses?
Sure. I have one.
Oh, yeah.
You would take a break first?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Good plan.
Yeah.
Why don't we reconvene at 10:45?
Chairs all way in the way. What'd you say? What time you say?
10:45.
10:45.
Or
Got 7 minutes.
That clock's a little fast. You got 10, you got 10.
Okay. That's well. Bathroom.
That's weird.
Good time to, me too. Excuse me. With all, they already took it. Stolen. Oh, yeah. Our surgery 3 years ago. Down in here. Yeah, when I saw your name already. It's a unique thing, so. Council's okay, I talked with the gentleman.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah. Appreciate it.
So, it's, recognized in most of the world days. It's been a while. Yeah. Get back inside. Okay.
Yes. Standing, that's what we thought. Should have been grandmothers.
First grandchild.
Yes. So. And little one. So. This side. I've seen both. Both jurisdictions. All over. Big room. The officers for people and people. Sergeants. They say. They don't know what they do. Yeah, they do. I believe. Exactly. Then 2 days early. Yes. That's a good question. It's 42.
Okay, so yeah, oh yeah, there's a countdown.
Wow, look at that.
Sorry, I just wanted to catch your name today.
Hey, it's very nice to meet you.
Thank you. Sorry, I had some other obligations that I had to
Oh, no,
push,
no.
push back.
It's a good point. Sometimes forget. I think I'm gonna suggest that if we do more of these hearings, that we do them in a larger room. The ordinary business license board meetings, this room is perfectly full.
Yeah.
Okay, are we ready to proceed with presentation of the appellant's evidence?
Yes, sir.
Could we get the door, just for the noise in the hallway, thanks?
You stand. What is your name? I want you to tell the panel your name, introduce your family to the panel, please.
嗨，请您自我介绍一下您的名字，然后呢，介绍一下您的家人。
我叫秀芳阳，这是我老公，那是我的女儿。
Hi, my name is Shou Fang Yang. This is my husband and this is my daughter.
Thank you. You say that, please. You come up here, please.
我们可以做。
Shall I swear the witness?
Yes, sir. Fair is fair.
Would you please stand and raise your right hand?
请您起立，举起右手。
Do you solemnly state that the evidence you shall give
您是否宣誓您所提供的证言
in this matter shall be the truth,
现在是真实的？
the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
真实的，只是真实的，而且一定是真实的。
是的，
So help you God.
神答道 ，Yes。
Thank you.
早上好. Good morning.
早上好。
Are you literate in English?
请问你会讲英文吗？
一点点。
那对。
Please slowly say your name.
请慢慢的说您的名字。
秀芳阳，
Do you have a trade name?
您是否有工作名字？
凯丽，
Kelly. Have you ever been known as Coco?
您是否有被称呼叫 Coco 这个名字？
没有。
No。
Did you become the owner of JF Foot Spa on or about November 13th, 2025 through a purchase?
您是在2025年11月25日购买的 FJ First Spa。
是的，
Yes, correct.
Did you know the owner before you bought JF Foot Spa?
您是否知道前一位店主
不知道，不认识。
？No, I do not know.
Have you ever owned a massage establishment before?
请问曾经您是否拥有过任何按摩生意
没有，第一次。
？No, first time.
Thank you. Are you a massage therapist certified by the California Massage Therapy Council?
您是加州按摩委员会认可的按摩师吗？
是的，
Yes, correct.
And how long have you been certified?
请问你有按摩执照有多久
11年多了，11年。
？11 years or so.
Do you advertise JF Foot Spa on the internet through a website?
您是否有把 JF First Spa 用网络推出广告？
有广告。
Yeah, there's ads.
Is this it's 3 pages?
这3页。
Is this your pretty good pictures?
请问这些相片是不是？
是。
Yes.
How much is the 90-minute massage?
请问90分钟的按摩是多少钱
100美元。
？$100.
I was referring to Exhibit 5. And do you also have your prices posted in the lobby?
请问您的按摩服务费用是否在大厅里面显示？
是的，
And I'm showing you Exhibit 6. And you posted the price $100 for 90 minutes or an hour and a half. Is that correct?
是否有显示90分钟，也就是1个小时半是100美金
是的，
？Correct.
Okay, good. Did the city of Millbrae give you a pre-opening inspection?
Melbourne 城市是否有给您提前进行一次电的检测
没有，
？No.
Did the city of Millbrae ever inspect JF Foot Spa before February 11th, 2026, the day of the incident?
2026年2月11日以前，请问 Melbourne 城市是否有对您的店进行任何检查
没有，
？No.
Did the city of Millbrae ever give you a copy of their massage code in either English or Chinese?
请问 Melbourne 城市是否有给你一份中文版的按摩执照规章制度
没有，
？No.
Do you have a copy now?
请问现在您是否有一份
现在有一份中英文版的
？Currently I do have a copy Chinese and English
律师证，
provided by attorney.
Thank you. What percentage of your patrons are women?
您的营业的百分度大多是多少是女性
50%以上。
？About 50% above.
Okay, there's an issue about towels being stored at your place. Tell me how you store the towels at your place.
您的毛巾、浴巾储存方式有一点点问题，现在请问一下，您是如何储存你的毛巾、浴巾的？
五斤毛巾我们烘干了放上，早上上班的时候工作就打开，等晚上关门我们就闭。
Storing towels. So what we do is we dry it first in the beginning of the day. In the morning, we leave it open, and then at nighttime, when we close it.
Let's talk about the CMTC ID badge.
我们现在讲解一下 CAMTC 的证件。
I believe the sheriff said they found it in the lobby. Why was it in the lobby?
警官有说，在您的身份证件在大厅里面找到的，请问为什么在大厅里？
早上上班换衣服落在那里。
In the morning, I was at work and I was changing my uniform and I left it there. Okay.
Now, the decoy officer, the undercover officer said that you were, and I pressed him on this. He said you were wearing a long sleeve top.
卧底警官解释说的是，当时您有穿着长袖衣服。
Were you wearing a long sleeves top on February 11th?
2月11日，请问您是否有穿一件长袖的衣服？
不是长袖的，我是中袖的到这儿。
No, it's not long sleeve. It's a middle sleeve to this location.
Do you have the top with you? Can you show the panel?
您是否现在有这件衣服？可不可以给大家看？
有，我今天带了。
Yes, I did bring it today.
Say nothing. Thank you. Want to see it? Okay. What is a typical, I think it's that day you bargained with the decoy, give him a 1-hour massage. What is a typical 1-hour massage?
当天和卧底警官，您有提供1小时的按摩，请问平常1小时按摩是什么？
一小时按摩，平常
Typical 1-hour massage.
Yes.
是的。
1小时按摩70块钱。
1-hour massage is $70.
I misspoke. Or something happened here. Describe what goes on in a 60-minute massage. How much time in the front, how much in the back, so forth.
可不可以详细解释60分钟的按摩，多少在前面，然后呢，多少在后面
30分钟做背，15分钟做腿，
？30 minutes back, 15 minutes leg.
然后翻身做前面。
and then flip around to the front.
Did you tell the decoy officer, do you tell him to remove his underwear?
您是否有让卧底警官脱掉他的内裤？
没有，
No. Okay. Was the decoy, when you came to the room, strike that, when you came in, did you ask, excuse me? When he laid down on the table, were you present? Or were you was he alone when he prepared himself for the massage? Or when he undressed, was he alone?
当警官脱衣服躺下的时候，请问他是否是个人？只有他一个人？
是的，
Yes. Okay, good. Was there a towel covering his buttocks?
请问是否有浴巾遮着他的腚部？
是的，
Yes.
All right. During the massage, did the decoy ever make any motions on you? Did he ever touch you?
按摩进行当中，请问卧底警官是否有触摸你？
有，
Yes.
Describe how he touched you in detail, please.
可不可以详细的解释他是如何触摸你？
我在前面给他推背的时候，他的两只手就是摸着我的屁股和大腿。
When I was up front massaging and pressing the back, both his hands were touching my butt and my upper thigh.
Did you remove his hands from your butt and fly?
你是不是有将他的手推开？
我将他的手拿开，然后我就坐他的腰后面。
I moved his hand out of the way and I started working on the lower back.
So did you reposition yourself so he can no longer touch you? Is that correct?
也就是说你离开了你当时的位置，这样子他没有办法触摸你，是吗？
是的，
Yes, okay. Did you expose his genitals during the massage?
你是否有触摸他的生殖器？
没有，
No. Were you wearing a brassiere that day?
当天你是否有戴胸罩？
有，
Yes.
Did the decoy officer tell you to expose your breasts?
卧底警官是否有提出让你露出你的胸部？
有，
Yes.
Do you have any service costing $100?
你是否有任何服务是收费$100的？
只有90分钟按摩100块。
90 minutes massage is $100。
Did you expose your breast to him?
你是否有露出你的胸部给他
没有，
？No。
Did you tell him I'm shy?
你有没有告诉他你害羞？
no，
Did you grab his penis?
你是否有握住和触摸他的生殖器
没有，
？No。
Did the decoy officer request a sex act in exchange for money?
请问卧底警官当时是否有提出用金钱交换性服务
没有，
？No。
Did you request money in exchange for a sex act?
请问您是否有提出用金钱换取性服务
没有，
？No。
Did the decoy use body language to ask for sexual services?
卧底警官是否有用身体语言来提示进行性服务
有，
？Yes。
How did you respond?
请问您是如何回答的？
我离开了他，我躲远一点，我没有说话。
I distanced myself. I got away, but I didn't say anything.
All right, let's ask an unspoken question. Do customers clients, patrons, depends on the jurisdiction. Millbrae, they call clients. Do they ever ask for sex act in exchange for money?
我们现在问一个那个写下来的问题是，请问在 Melbourne 这个城市，您的所有的顾客是否有曾经提到过提出用性服务？
偶尔会有，
呃
我们会不做，会把他赶走。
Once in a while, but we don't do that, and then we will chase them away.
Do you know what prostitution is?
您是否知道卖淫是什么？
接受性交易的钱，
Sex act for money.
What's wrong with prostitution?
卖淫有什么错的吗？
卖淫是犯罪的不道德。
Prostitution is illegal and immoral.
Did you recently take a class on preventing prostitution?
您是否有上过反对和卖淫知识的那个课程？
上过
Yes, I have.
对我影响很大。
It had a lot of impact on me.
That's exhibit 7. 4-hour class online.
是不是这个4小时的网上课程？
That's it for now. Up to you.
Morning, Miss Yang. My name's Kyle Daly.
你好，
杨女士你好，
你是
这是黄律师在这里。
You bought Jay a foot bath in November of 2025, right?
你是在11月份2025年买的
Asked and answered, but
是的，
？Yes.
And since then, you have been the only masseuse in the massage parlor, right?
购买以后呢，您是在这家按摩中心的唯一的按摩师是吗
是的，
？Correct.
You agree that when you were massaging the detective, you were not wearing your photo ID badge, right?
你是否认可当您在为卧底警官进行按摩的时候，你没有袖带自己的按摩证件在身上？
是的，没在身上。
Yes, correct. It wasn't on me.
Now, you speak a limited amount of English, correct?
你是讲有限的英文
是的，
？Yes, correct.
But you've been a licensed masseuse for over a decade.
但是你已经是有按摩执照拥有者，大概10年以上
11年，
，11 years and plus.
So you're well aware. Let me rephrase. You knew when you bought Jay a foot bath that masseuses are not allowed to touch customers' private parts, right?
也就是说，您知道，在当您购买了您的按摩中心的时候，你是知道按摩师是不可以触摸顾客的。
是的，
Yes.
And you are telling us that that Detective Gonzalez touched you during the massage, right?
你也有讲解Gonzalez 警官在按摩的时候呢，也对你进行了触摸。
对，
Yes, correct.
But you did not stop the massage when he did that, correct?
但是你却没有当时停下来进行按摩。
我想了，
I thought about it.
But you did not, right?
但是你没有停下来。
我就觉得他是咸猪手，我躲他远一点。
At the time, I thought it was just an act of backhand, so I would just distance myself.
I'm sorry, an act of what?
Backhand,
Bad hand?
yeah, or like
an act of bad hand and she distanced herself.
Okay.
Same as her previous testimony.
inappropriate.
I'm just trying to understand the phrase bad hand and what she means by that. Does she mean that she thought that the detective might have touched her accidentally?
No, on purpose. So in Chinese, 咸猪手 it's a exact phrase for the phrase backhand for somebody who's like grouping, pretty much.
Okay, all right. So she interpreted it as groping, she says, but she continued the massage, right? You know what? We've already established that. I don't need to get into that more. But does she agree that at no time did she chase Detective Gonzalez away, as she said that she sometimes does with customers?
但是当时您却没有让 Gonzalez 警官立刻离开，就像您提出的，像其他客人，你会让他们离开的这种行为。
因为他当时没有说别的什么多余的话，
Because at the time he did not say anything specific or extra.
Okay, I have no further questions. Thank you.
谢谢你。
So, just to reiterate. When the officers showed up. Quite a few of them, six officers or whatever showed up, came to the front door. Were you glad to see them? And why?
我们大概讲解一下，当时当您看到有6位警官破门而入的时候，请问您是否很荣幸、很高兴见到他们
是的，
？Yes，
Why were you glad to see them?
你为什么会高兴地见到他们？
因为这只咸猪手，我给他翻身之后，他又抓着我的衣服，我就跑出来了，警察就进来了。
Because the individual with the bad hand and the grouping act.
Grouping or groping? Groping, right?
Roping, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And when I flipped him around, he still held on to my shirt. So I ran out of the room to escape.
Another question. You happily married?
另外一个问题，请问您的婚姻高兴吗？幸福吗？
我的婚姻很幸福呀，今天我老公陪我过来，我姑娘陪我过来。
My marriage is very happy. Today my husband came and also my daughter came with me.
And you're expecting a grandchild soon, is that correct?
你是否期待即将会有一个孙子？
是的，小宝宝。
Yes, little baby, her little baby.
Have you ever traded a sex act for money?
请问你是否曾经有用金钱换取过幸福
没有，
？No.
Thank you.
谢谢。
Anything
No-
further?
No questions.
Mr. Horcher, do you have other evidence to present?
Well, I've submitted all my exhibits, like, if you'd like me to go through them again.
No,
I'm happy to. I think
I'm only asking.
I've captioned them pretty well, they pretty much speak for themselves, but I think,
Yes, everything that's been submitted is part of the record.
okay, I think it's exhibit 1 through, I was gonna comment about something else, exhibit 11 and 12, but there's been so much pain to the San Mateo County Sheriff's Office, I'm not gonna discuss that anymore, but. However, I was chagrined when I read the sheriff's report to see. The name of Jeffrey Carr as the reviewing officer of this report. Someone who cost the county $8 million, along with 3 of his colleagues. Who were involved in a sexual discrimination and harassment lawsuit. That dearly cost the county. $8 million, like $10,000 for each sworn officer of the San Mateo County Sheriff's Department. But I'm happy to see the new sheriff is okay, I like him. I think it's gonna work out better for they've had a rough ride the last 2 years, so I have some sympathy for the sheriff's department. But I was put off when I saw his name there. And be that as it may. I'll conclude whenever you ask me to, that's all I want to comment on the exhibits.
Is there a need for rebuttal case on the part of either party?
I don't think so.
Okay, so both parties submit.
No, I'd like to talk to
Oh, yeah, we can give a closing if you like.
close it for. Go ahead.
So based on, I reminded myself and you all at the beginning of this hearing, I'm gonna remind everybody again, because the way the questions have come out. Sometimes this hearing felt like we were trying to convict Ms. Yang of prostitution. Now, we think that she committed an act of prostitution. But the question before us is whether or not she should be able to continue to operate JF Footbath. And she should not. And the reason for that is because even if you give her the benefit of the doubt in Detective Gonzalez's testimony that $100 reference to the $100 that he had showed her was not a solicitation, you have direct testimony from Detective Gonzalez, who has no stake in the outcome of this. But there's no reason to believe that he would have made any of this up. He told you honestly that during this massage, she massaged his genitals, she lifted up her shirt when he asked her to. And we cannot have people who are running massage parlors doing that in San Mateo County or in the city of Millbrae. And so we ask that her appeal be denied.
Okay, Mr. Horcher?
Yes, just reviewing the evidence and going through what was said and not said, as I previewed my opening statement, it is a he said, she said situation. They both are compelling. They're pretty good witnesses. She's extremely compelling. You have to admire the fact that her husband stood with her throughout this. And it's one of the reasons I want to make sure an interpreter was here and make sure he understood everything and he was comfortable. A lot of things have surfaced here. The most damning thing is the lack of an audio recording, which would have solved this problem. And why is it so important? Because there was initially a prosecution, a ticket, a misdemeanor ticket. But the county, Millbrae didn't think that was enough. For some reason, they realized that maybe this was not a good case. So they came back and decided 3 or 4 a month later, let's tack on these 2 little extremely de minimis petty violations of a badge in the wrong place and towels allegedly not stored properly. Well, let's bootstrap that in to take this woman down, take down her business highly unfairly. And then what do you know? March 19th, this goes to court. Criminal court, this misdemeanor. The DA says, I want no part of this. He may change his mind, or she may change his mind, but right now they want no part of this. They don't see a case there either. No case. Many things went wrong here. We began, look at the police reports using, they didn't do their homework. They based a raid on these stale, anonymous internet statements from male fantasy websites that were published before she became the owner. The previous owner's name was Coco. It wasn't Miss Yang. There was let's see. So pointed out, and the sergeant agreed with me, the detective, is that prostitutes, real prostitutes in the massage world, hey, I don't wait 45 minutes. They get down to business right away, within seconds of being behind those closed doors. And by the way, there were closed doors. You have to admire her. She has a place that has the pony walls, so everything can be heard in the next place, so she can track her employees whenever she doesn't have any employees now. She's solo operation, but she's hopefully, hopefully have an employee someday so she can, and just to keep the employees honest, to have that ability to listen what's going on in there. Now you have to sit, you listen carefully what the officer said. He kept trying to cajole her, kept trying to create a situation to create a case that wasn't there. I'm not a criminal lawyer, but I think they call it I forgot what they call it, but they're just trying to create a crime. There is no crime. And he just apparently he was under a lot of pressure to come up with something. And there's nothing. There's nothing there. This woman's been falsely accused. Millbrae, I think should have done a lot of things, including starting with just getting her off on the right foot. Like other jurisdictions do. They're not lazy about it. Other jurisdictions. At least come down and do a pre-opening inspection. Well, this isn't quite right. Fix it. Well, like you ever get a ticket from the CHP, a fix-it ticket? No, give you a little ticket, fix it, come on back, call us back when you're ready to be inspected, and we'll take it from there. That's fair. Other jurisdictions, they'll at least give you a copy of the law in English, the code. And some of you actually do it in Chinese as well, simplified Chinese. Just give them a break, set them up to succeed, not fail. But the most, there's a lot of things are very strange here. Maybe the department, they just had an off day. I mean, why would you need 8 officers for a 1-person massage place? In fact, remember, he said he came in 2 days before. He knew what the operation was. So he should have told Ms. Larson. I mean, what's this place is not a den of iniquity. There's not like 10 women running around dressed scantily. It's just a 1-person place. You don't need 8 officers. And another thing, I've read that post-retraining manual so many times, and which he did actually put in his report. Just hard to reference. He said, we're opposed to do this fast, immediately, as soon as possible. And yet people here in the chain of command drag their feet, including Miss Larson, including the decoy, all drag their feet as far as getting these reports done. And surprise, surprise, the decoy said today, oh, there were audio recordings. Where are they? Not here. They took her cell phone on a search warrant. She volunteered the passwords. They had all those opportunities. She was a criminal, or she was operating a shady operation there. It would have been right there in your cell phones. Believe me, if they'd found anything, we would have heard about it today. All we get is the middle of a donut today. There's nothing here. It does not justify taking this woman's business away from her. It's too harsh. It is what they call a draconian. It's revoking someone's permit for an empty donut is outrageous. And permit revocation is the death penalty in administrative law, and she does not deserve the death penalty. She deserved a little kindness and understanding and helping get her business going, but she didn't get that. It's clear if you see the undercover, just try to provoke a crime. And now if the word comes back to me, it's called entrapment. It didn't work, it failed. So we appeal to the business license board to come to the same conclusion as the San Mateo District Attorney. Find there are insufficient facts to support the imposition of certificate revocation. Thank you.
Thank you. Now that we have heard evidence from both parties, do any members of the business license board have any questions?
I do not.
I do not.
Okay. We will now open public comment for item 3, if there is any.
Madam Chair, we don't have anybody in person or via Zoom.
Okay. Thank you. We will now close public comment for item 3, and we will open up for member discussion, if any.
So again, just to clarify, we're here to just talk about the permit revocation, excluding all issues with criminal case that is may not be relevant at all to this proceeding.
So my understanding is there are 3 options available to us as the appeal board, which are we can sustain the revocation, we can overturn the revocation, or we can opt to change the revocation to a suspension of at least 5 days. Is that correct, Mr. Brooks?
I heard the question somewhat differently. I just want to clarify that the other proceedings, including the administrative fine imposed by Millbrae and the disposition or lack thereof of the criminal matter have been offered into evidence in this case to indicate a thing, but none of those things are dispositive for your decision. Okay, so they may constitute evidence in one direction or in another direction, but they don't answer the question posed to you, which is whether or not in this case, it's not a license, it's a registration of the business in Millbrae, should be revoked.
Yeah, I mean, based on the testimony provided, Detective Gonzalez stated that in his report and his testimony that his genitals were touched without warning or any kind of question being asked or discussion prior. That part of it for me kind of goes back to a public health and safety concern if there were to be a juvenile or somebody else that went into the establishment. The potential is there to have their genitals touched without any type of discussion or warning first based off of that testimony. To your point about the DA not filing charges, again, that's beyond a reasonable doubt of a criminal matter that we're not discussing. So I do understand that argument, but for me, based off the testimony that was given by both detectives, I believe the municipal code was violated in several different sections that were discussed. Yeah, I mean, that's what I have.
Well, we may entertain a motion if someone would like to make a motion.
Yeah, I would like to make a motion to uphold the revocation based off of the testimony that was provided.
I'll second that.
Roll call, Wayman Wong. Rick Chapeau, Sophie Mintier.
You're asking for our votes.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll go one at a time.
Sophie Mintier,
Yes.
Yes.
Wayman Wong,
Yes.
and I say motion carried.
That's correct.
Okay. So we now move on to item 4, which is consideration of date and time for the next San Mateo County License Board hearing, which would be May 20th, 2026. We now move on to item 5, correspondence and other matters. I don't believe we have any other matters. So that brings us to the close. Thank you, everyone. The meeting is adjourned.
Thank you.